Hello, and my name is CJ, and I'm here to talk to you everything there is about sliders. And this is the Sliders Review. And today, I'm here to talk to you about Maggie Beckett. Maggie Beckett is played by Kari Rohr. Maggie was introduced into the second half of the third season and lasted until the end of the fifth season. Her character was introduced once the professor died. In the third season, most people hated Maggie, mainly because she was the bitch. She did not get along with the other sliders. She wasn't a team player, and she constantly fought back and forth with Wade. The only person she seems to get along with is Quinn Mallory, and that's only because she has an attraction towards him. And that attraction started even when her husband was still alive and they was back on Maggie's home planet. Now, Maggie Earth was different from the other parallel Earth. Her Earth was being destroyed by pulsars. Quinn and the other sliders help her and others slide off-world into a different one. But before they do that, her boss, Colonel Rickman, shoots not only the professor, but shoots her husband. So now Maggie is on an extreme blood hunt and wants to kill Rickman. And she would do anything and everything just to get her man. So much that she tries to wander off by herself and be on the other world with the sliders. And when the other sliders are trying to help people on another world, she pretty much demands that Quinn gives her the timer so she can slide off-world and kill Rickman. But there is no telling if she was actually thinking about coming back and getting the sliders. And this is pretty much her whole personality trait in the whole third season. So because of that, she's a very unlikable character. But she's a very sexy woman, so it's kind of hard to hate her so much when she looks that good. By the time we get into the fourth season, her character does a whole 360 turn. She is now, in essence, the new Wade. She's a very lovable character. She's very understanding. She still has her attitude, and she's still the muscle of the group, but she's actually concerned not only with the sliders, but she's also concerned with other people and other worlds in which she does not know. Her romantic feelings for Quinn, they're still there, but not as strong as they were before, where she was trying to press the matter. For the most part, they have kind of like a love-hate relationship where they kind of bicker like an old married couple. In some episodes, like Virtual Slide, she believes she is talking to the real Quinn Mallory, but in fact she's talking to a virtual simulation. And in that episode, she expresses her feelings towards him. It isn't until the episode Road's Taken, in which her and Quinn are stuck in the bubble universe where they don't know anything about sliding. They just feel they've known each other since high school and have been dating since, and where they marry and have a child. In the episode Profits and Loss, we start to see Maggie's compassionate side to where she bonds with a woman from another Earth, and this Earth is highly religious, and they feel they need to make way by going to that of another world or existence, and they have technology that can take them there, which is kind of like sliding technology. However, the device itself is an incinerator, and it burns human flesh within seconds. But the people of that world don't believe that. So Maggie is desperately trying to beg this woman not to do it. But the woman does it anyway, which has a real grief-stricken effect on Maggie. In the episode Slide by Wire, we see in that episode Maggie has a double. And her double has incapacitated our Maggie and has slid with the sliders. Our Maggie is stuck on her world where she discovers that her husband is still alive. However, her husband doesn't want to have anything to do with her because he feels as though she's a freak. And on that world, air pilots are enhanced by technology to help them fly better. And her husband is completely against it, to the point where he doesn't want to have anything to do with her. That's a real emotional episode for her because she has a hard time convincing him that she is not the Maggie Beckett of his world and that she's a different one. Later on in the episode, he really does discover that she is in fact a different Maggie, and in a way it gives her closure because she was never able to say goodbye to her husband because her husband was shot and she didn't find out until later. In the fifth season, I'm not too sure how Maggie acts in that, or really what she does. I know she still has a bit of her attitude here and there, but I don't know if she's as sweet as she was in the 4th season. By this time, Colin Mallory has been lost and Quinn has been fused into his double. So the only person she has left is Rembrandt, and pretty much she would stick by Rembrandt no matter what. In the last episode called The Shear, a man has psychic visions that if the sliders make their next slide, they're all going to die. Something happens where they're being held captive, and Rembrandt actually slides back to Earth Prime, and he's the only one that slides. The sliding equipment is actually damaged. Before Rembrandt slides, him and Maggie have this huge emotional goodbye where she's in tears because the last part of her family is now gone, because she lost all the people on her world because half of them died and only 100 of them live on another world which she'll never see again. Her husband is dead, Wade is lost, Quinn is essentially fused in his double, and I also think that now because of that he's now dead, so she has absolutely nobody but now these two new strangers in which she slides with. And there you have, people, the rundown on Maggie Beckett. Alright, talk to you later. Bye.